In the news tonight, 9 months after his arrest, a suspended Ogdensburg police officer continues to collect a paycheck, and the costs to the city are adding up.
Also tonight, Henry Kumaletti, Watertown native and court reporter at the Nuremberg war crimes trial, gets a new courtroom dedicated in his memory and in his honor.
And in Gouverneur, everyone walks together to fight breast cancer. 7 News is next.
You're watching the North Country's news station. 7 News this evening starts now. From our studio in downtown Watertown, here's Ann Richter and Brian Ashley.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Our top story, off the job but still on the payroll.
Costs are adding up in the city of Ogdensburg for a suspended police detective who's been collecting a paycheck since August of 2015 when he was arrested on child porn charges. 7 News reporter John Fryatt has the story.
Suspended Ogdensburg Police Detective Harry McCarthy remains on the city payroll and receiving benefits 9 months after being charged with child pornography involving a young girl. City officials say McCarthy has been paid more than $56,000 from August 2015 when he was placed on suspension through May 6th, including more than $4,300 of back time paid to him.
He is still an employee of the city, and he does have some rights as an employee. Those rights are a little bit restricted right now, as opposed to if he was actually physically on the job.
McCarthy remains held in Franklin County Jail without bail on 2 felony charges of possessing and promoting a sexual performance by a child. He allegedly uploaded a picture of a male engaged in sex with a young girl to his email account. His case has not been presented to a grand jury and could soon be turned over to federal officials for further prosecution.
Mr. McCarthy is going through the criminal justice system, and the city is in a position where we do not want to do anything that interferes or impedes the criminal justice system.
The city has not initiated a hearing to remove McCarthy, a 30-year police veteran, from his detective position, which has been temporarily filled on the police force.
Now, city officials tell us they have no plans to stop paying McCarthy until his criminal case is completed or he files for retirement.
The city is mindful of the complications and is trying to work its way through all of them.
John Fryatt, 7 News.
What's your reaction to this? Feel free to share it on our website or our 7 News Facebook page. A former Dutchess County legislator and scout leader took the stand in his own defense today. Michael Kelsey is on trial in St. Lawrence County Court for allegedly sexually abusing 2 scouts while on a camping trip in Cranberry Lake. Today, under questioning from District Attorney Mary Rain, Kelsey admitted he told the mother of one of his alleged victims that he made a pass at the boy and felt ashamed. He also admitted that he reached for the boy in an area he shouldn't have and apologized afterward. Closing arguments are expected tomorrow.
Jefferson Community College is showing its students how to save someone overdosing on heroin. Today, about 15 JCC students learned how to administer Narcan, a life-saving drug used in the heroin overdoses. The students are part of a campus group creating awareness about opioid addiction.
Having the Narcan training can be helpful in possibly saving their life.
Be prepared in case they do witness an overdose, because people in this community have witnessed an overdose and they don't quite know what to do with it.
ACR Health ran the program and offers public Narcan training sessions. To sign up, visit acrhealth.org.
70 years ago, the Nuremberg trials were underway, bringing the Nazi regime to justice.
A Watertown man had a front row seat to history as a court reporter at those trials. As 7 News reporter John Moore tells us, the new military courtroom at Fort Drum now bears his name, Henry Kumaletti.
As the likes of Goering, Hess, and other Nazi criminals faced justice, a young Watertown court reporter was there helping keep the record. His family would hear about it for decades to come.
He always talks about the call that he got from the Army, from the War Department, that just basically said, Mr. Kumaletti, would you like to go to Nuremberg?
Now it's the new Henry Kumaletti courtroom that will dispense military justice on Fort Drum. Kumaletti's name on it, a constant reminder of American principles of justice as borne out at Nuremberg.
Those trials stand as a unique marker, not just in American history, but in world history, because they stand for the deep and strong commitment that Western society has for the rule of law.
Later in life, Kumaletty wrote a book and for years would tell his story to anyone who would listen, how disturbing it was to hear testimony about war criminals.
The thing that bothered me the most is to hear this evidence about telling the people they get revenge. That speaks for itself.
It was a short period of his 89-year-old life, but it was a remarkable time in history, and he was honored to be able to be there.
And now the Fort Drum courtroom is honored to have his name on it. John Moore, 7 News.
This Saturday, hundreds of people will once again raise thousands of dollars to help North Country residents battling breast cancer.
It's the 15th year of the Gouverneur Breast Cancer Walk. 7 News reporter Chris Spiker is live in Gouverneur tonight with a preview. Chris?
Ann and Brian, ask the women behind the walk and they'll tell you we walk together, and not just Saturday, but all year long. When you go to Terry Cole's home in Fowler, you can't help but notice all of the pink.
Yep, that was a Christmas present.
These are all gifts from Terry's Rack Pack, a group of Cole's friends and family supporting her since she was diagnosed with breast cancer.
We have a great team, we really do.
Cole had a mastectomy in July of 2014, but she needed help getting insurance and paying for it. That's when the Gouverneur Breast Cancer Fund stepped in.
They've done a tremendous job taking care of everything that I couldn't take care of. And I give them a lot of credit for that.
5 women help run the Gouverneur Breast Cancer Fund, which provides financial support for breast cancer patients and survivors in St. Lawrence, Jefferson, and Lewis counties.
Everybody has a story, and just being able to help them is great.
Carolyn Pistolisi helped start the fund in 2001, a year after she lost her close friend Donna Weldon to breast cancer.
Because she was so giving and generous, we decided to keep the money locally and help women locally instead of sending it away. So now we feel like she's still helping people.
From the walk, the fund has helped about 600 people with breast cancer in the North Country with medical and insurance costs. The fund works closely with the Cancer Center at Claxon Hepburn Medical Center in Ogdensburg.
They are there for those patients. They go above and beyond.
The fund also helps with expenses outside the hospital like travel, groceries, and utility bills. Terry Pistolisi recalls when the fund once bought new car tires for a woman.
And that was something that we don't do very often, but in order for her to get to treatment, her car needed to pass inspection, and so we put tires on her car.
Each patient also gets a care package complete with a homemade mastectomy pillow. The women meet every Tuesday to plan their big event, the Gouverneur Breast Cancer Walk. Last year's walk raised more than $100,000 and pushed the fund over the $1 million mark in its 14th year. Now the best news, Terry Cole tells us she just found out she's cancer-free. But you can expect her to be walking on Saturday. Ann and Brian.
All right, Chris Spiker live in Gouverneur tonight. Chris, thank you.
Here's what you need to know. The 15th annual Gouverneur Breast Cancer Walk is Saturday morning. The walk is about a mile long. Registration begins at 8:30 and a brief opening ceremony will start at 10. The walk itself gets underway at 10:30 and it'll happen rain or shine.
Well, I have been a part of this walk for a number of years now, and I have to say, these people are so inspiring. Gouverneur will be a sea of pink Saturday, so come out and support the cause and keep your fingers crossed for perfect weather.
Is it going to take more than crossed fingers to produce some nice weather for the weekend, John Kubas?
I think the weekend is going to be interesting. We'll call it that. We'll be on the backside of a cold front, and temperatures will be very chilly on Saturday and Sunday. We're not there yet, though. Let's talk about chilly temperatures overnight tonight. And, well, there you see it on your television screen. There's a frost advisory in effect for after midnight tonight and first thing tomorrow morning. Jefferson County, Lewis County, Oswego County, and also the St. Lawrence River Valley up north in St. Lawrence County. Adirondacks not included because you're not quite in the growing season yet. All the weather action down to our south and not too much happening in our neck of the woods. Clear skies and lows right around that magical 32, 33 degree mark, which means the potential for some frost. Warmer tomorrow. Details on that forecast in a few minutes.
All right, John, thanks very much. And still ahead on 7 News, a vocal warm-up before performing on stage at Carnegie Hall.
Also tonight, the creativity of North Country students on display for all to see.
And in sports, tennis, anyone? Mel checks in on the Carthage boys tennis team.
This is the North Country's news station. You're watching Ann Richter and Brian Ashley. Weather with John Kubis and Mel Busler's sports. It's 7 News this evening.
A standing ovation at Carnegie Hall in New York City.
And tonight on Just Face It, we have a sneak preview. This is the SUNY Potsdam Crane School of Music Chorus doing warm-ups on the bus en route to its historic concert at Carnegie Hall. It happened on Mother's Day, so let's listen in.
Love to sing and up. I 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 love to sing and.
The Crane Symphony Orchestra also performed as part of the college's 200th anniversary, and they made us all very, very proud.
Well, there's a big breast cancer walk in Gouverneur. There's plenty of other events going on this weekend. So I know it's only Tuesday. What do you think looking forward?
Well, I know tomorrow's going to be nice and sunny and warm.
Okay.
I know that much.
We'll take that at least.
Safe what we can. Yeah, right.
That's
We'll talk more about the forecast for the weekend here in a couple of minutes. Another day, another gorgeous weather photo over my shoulder. Let's get right to it. This one taken on Chippewa Bay by William, and what a glorious picture it is. Look at all those beautiful colors in the sky and also on the water as well. Thank you very much. And of course, if you've got a picture you'd like to share, send it to me at jkubis@wwnytv.net. Nothing showing up on the Doppler radar, hardly a cloud in the sky, moving right along. We're at 57 degrees, winds from the west-southwest at about 8 miles per hour. Pressure is high, and it has been holding steady over the last couple of hours. Our high 60, our low 26. So close to at least tying a record low of 25 degrees set back in 1966. And as far as the averages, we are still off on both ends from where we ought to be this time of year. 66 right now in Messina, lower 60s in Cranberry Lake and Star Lake as well. 62 in Lowville, 57s in Adams, and well, the same can be said at Fort Drum. Middle 60s in Ottawa, lower 60s in Syracuse, right at 60 degrees in the Big Apple, Boston at 66, Albany at 68, Buffalo currently checking in at 65 degrees, hot out west and down to our south as well. 83 in Miami, lower 90s in Dallas, cooling off in Minneapolis, they're at 56 degrees. Nice and warm in Phoenix, they're at 89. Cold in Billings at 39 degrees, and there's some snow in the air around those parts. 72 in Portland, mid-60s right now in San Francisco. High pressure up to our north, keeping us high and dry, and all the weather action down to our south with some severe thunderstorms through the Ohio Valley, and pretty much that's where they're going to stay. Snow in the northwest, you betcha, at elevation. They're still dealing with that winter time precipitation, and that'll be the case at least over the next couple of hours or so for them. For us, not too much happening. It's going to get cold tonight, so there's a frost advisory in effect. Your lows in the lower to middle 30s across the board. A little bit colder around Barnes Corners, 31 for your low, 33 in Lowville with a frost advisory kicking in after midnight, courtesy of light winds and clear skies. Clear skies up north, frost advisory in effect for you as well. 32 in Messina, upper 20s in Star Lake. During the course of the day tomorrow, it's going to be beautiful. Lots of sunshine, light winds, highs in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees. Carthage and Adams both should top out right around 70, 69 here in the city of Watertown. Sunshine in Lewis County, 71 in Lowville, 67 your high in Barnes Corners, and beautiful up north. Sunshine, light winds, upper 60s around Star Lake and Hammond, 70 in Ogdensburg and Messina, and your high is forecast to be 69 in Potsdam. Looking at the extended forecast, the next couple of days looking very nice. Not as cold Wednesday night. Thursday, sunshine and 74 for the high, 55 for the low. Friday, showers are likely as a cold front moves on through, highs in the mid-60s. And that cold front means business. So it looks like this weekend we'll be dealing with extra clouds on Saturday, a bit of a west-northwesterly wind, and look at those highs, only around 59 degrees, excuse me. Sunday looking coolish and potentially unsettled, and it looks like we remain on the chilly side of the old thermometer next Monday and Tuesday with highs only in the middle to upper 50s, well below average for this time of year. On to today's weather class question is brought to you by Mahoney's Auto Mall. Save crazy money at No Baloney Mahoney's, but hurry. There's no rain checks. No Baloney Mahoney, the dealer for the people. And that, my friends, is a no baloney. Now, true or false, a frost advisory will only be issued during the growing season. What do you think?
True.
Yes, indeed. That's a true statement.
So, we've started the growing season.
Yes, we have.
Here we go. We're off and running.
There we
Yes.
go.
All right, we got a double header at the Duffy Dome.
Yep.
Tennis practice, Carthage Central.
Yeah, we'll got all of that coming your way next. Stay tuned. The Jefferson Community College baseball team hosting Fulton Montgomery in a doubleheader at the Alex Duffy Fairgrounds. It would be a good win for the Cannoneers in the opener. Bottom of the first, John Andrews with a flare to right that falls for a single. Michael Espino scores. Cannoneers put up a 4-spot in the first. Bottom of the third, Edward Corneal singles to left. Victor Christensen scores. Jefferson on top, 5-0. Touré Parpete Sinclair then lofts a sacrifice fly to center. Joel Reynoso scores. 6-0 Cannoneers. Michael Espino goes shopping at the gap in left center. Edward Corneal scores. Now 7-0 Cannoneers. Emmanuel Olivo drives in Michael Espino. 8-0 JCC. Final in game one, Jefferson 10, Fulton Montgomery nothing. Well, Jefferson has already secured a spot in the postseason with a strong second half to the season, a fact that makes Cannoneers coach John Northrup a happy man.
We got 30 guys that want to win. I got 30 guys that come to the ballpark ready to play every day, play hard, and it's been a really exciting season from our standpoint. We got a bunch of good kids, and it makes coming to the ballpark fun every day. And we won a lot of close games, and we lost a lot of close games. So these guys have learned to battle adversity and play through tough situations.
Well, turning to tennis, Carthage boys tennis team is having a great season on the court so far this year. The Comets hoping to extend that success into the postseason.
The Comets are coming off a 4-1 win over Immaculate Heart Monday, which improved their record to 7-2 on the season.
From the start, we've worked very, very hard. These kids have a lot of patience, obviously with weather and everything else, and they've just really come together every practice and really worked hard and played every match to their level.
Well, we work really well together, and we're all really motivated to win. And a lot of us have been playing like the top 7. I think 4 of us have been playing for like the past couple of years. So we came a long way from losing a bunch of matches to this year winning a bunch. So it's a pretty good motivator.
The Comets doubles team of Leland O'Brien and Cole Sullivan have helped lead the Comets this season.
Yes, it's actually very ironic. I'm a freshman and my partner Cole is a senior, and I think we're very successful because we talk very well and we bond very well.
Yeah, we talk really well when we play. We call the ball, so I think we just have like good, we gel together, I guess. So yeah, Frontier League, here we come.
The Frontier League Boys Tournament is coming up this Saturday. Carthage is hoping to make a statement in the event.
The tournament, I'm hoping for big success. I think we have a lot of top contenders here at Carthage that will come up on top. And hopefully as a team we can pull through and maybe even take the championship at the Frontier League Tournament.
Carthage looking for a league title and beyond this season.
President Barack Obama honored the University of Connecticut women's basketball team for winning its 4th consecutive national championship and 11th overall. In a ceremony today in the White House East Room, Obama said the UConn women, who finished their season undefeated, defied the old saying that you can't win all the time. Obama noted that UConn won its games by an average of 40 points. In doing so, the president says they set a high bar for excellence that gives all teams a mark to shoot for, including the men's teams. Well, more than 30 years after winning the national championship, North Carolina State's 1983 basketball team finally met with a president. It happened yesterday. After their buzzer-beating win over Houston gave them their 2nd NCAA title, the Wolfpack never made the trip to Washington. Instead, only coach Jim Valvano went to meet with President Ronald Reagan while those players talked to him via satellite television broadcast. Former North Carolina State and Utah Jazz big man Thurl Bailey contacted Utah Senator Orrin Hatch, who wrote a letter to President Barack Obama in January. Bailey received the invitation to the White House earlier this month. So 30 years after the fact, Jim Valvano, of course, passed away from cancer, but the team finally made an appearance at the White House.
Better late than never.
That is very nice. All right, back in a moment.
Here's Jeff Nelson with a look at what's coming up tonight. Jeff?
Len and Brian, people in the town of Hounsfield are getting a chance to speak out about a controversial plan to put a Dollar General store on the way into the village of Sackett's Harbor. We have that story at 11 o'clock and at 10 on your North Country Fox.
Finally tonight, an eye for art.
If you want to see some masterpieces created by kids, then look no further than the lobby of the Watertown Della State Office Building. It's been transformed into a galley for the 33rd annual Tri-County Art Educators Show. The exhibit includes works from kindergarten through 12th graders at 17 schools in Jefferson, Lewis, and St. Lawrence counties. Paintings, sculpture, self-portraits, illustrations, photography, pottery, and ceramics. The art is on display through May 18th.
And this charcoal drawing of Holocaust survivors won Best in Show. Titled Love Endures, it was created by Indian River Central School senior Paige Saltzman. Congratulations to all of the artists.
And that's our look at local news tonight.
Coming up next, the CBS Evening News. Mel?
Oh, more local sports to talk about tonight, including boys lacrosse.
Clear skies, light winds, some patchy frost.
Thanks for making us a part of your world tonight. Good night.
Good night.
Where's Caroline anyway? Well, look at that. It's the world. It's the biggest event we do throughout the state, right here at the Turning Stone. What do the girls do? $250,000 giveaway. We're going to give a trip on my jet to over to Jamaica. No purchase.